Bell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
What is happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I got Ali right up here with me right now. What up, Ali?
What is up, sir?
Welcome, everybody.
Day, right?
Huh?
Hell of a day.
I mean, listen, for what would appear to be just kind of a slower day, Dolphins kind of getting their bearings after being on the road for what seems like forever. They're always cooking in there, you know. Every now and again, you turn around and there's empanadas coming out of the kitchen. Sometimes there's some taquitos. Sometimes you get a lobster crab bowl, and you turn around and some stuff gets done.
Well,
So,
I need, along with those empanadas, I need, Chris Greer and the Dolphins to come out with some tripletas, because I could really go for some tripletas right now. That and some yellow rice and beans. It'd be great. It'll be a great day. But with answers and while we're cooking, it creates more questions, though.
Well, I'm glad you get into that, and we'll get all into all the stuff that's changed today. While we're getting in here, guys, shout out to Flavor J, who got in here super early, member and family member up in the crib. Sean Bills Mafia in here. What's up? Hit the like button. Daniel Berry Sports, what's going on? Lewis, what's happening, everybody? Hit the like button. Happy, what's good, everybody? Michael K, Suicide Hotline, Raph up in here. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button on the way in so we can get this popping. We've been trying to go earlier and earlier every week for a while now. We're trying to find a great spot to settle in because I want to start using the evenings and the nighttime to do some other little projects that I have that I've been trying to work on too. So a lot of stuff. What's up, the Ghost? Just so everybody knows, YouTube did an update. They're showing your ats, not your screen names anymore. So whatever your at is what's going to show up. You can go in YouTube and change your at if you want to. So everybody, but like I know that's Raph right there. And it almost looks like big toes, but that's my dyslexia.
I actually thought the same thing, bro. I was going to ask him, is there like a foot fetish?
It's not, though. That's the dyslexia. He says it's his gamer tag, but that's awesome. My dyslexia caught. I'm like, big toes. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. That's funny.
Hit the like button, everybody. So, I had full intention to come in today and talk a little bit about, the preseason game that we've seen where the Dolphins were victorious. Some good stuff there up and down on the whole situation, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that. But the Dolphins say, hold my beer, and got a little something for y'all here. And they go ahead and it comes out, hey, listen, Matthew Judon is going to be visiting the Dolphins, and it's a really good chance he's going to sign. And then all of a sudden, after the visit, they were quick and happy to say, yeah, he has signed with the Dolphins. And they bolster their already what I would say a strong unit, right? Like the Dolphins, I think of it like they go to the gym and they don't do legs; they're just doing all upper body. You know what I'm saying? They're doing more upper body. There is some concerns considering that our cornerback room is about the lightest and thinnest I've ever seen it, and Ethan Bonner is hemmed up with a hammy right now. We'll get into some of that too, but I guess leaning in heavily to what their scheme is designed to be and what they want it to be is a front seven with a front four, especially, that is going to get organic pressure and create havoc all on their own. And the second you take your eye off of the linebackers or the slot corner or one of them safeties creeping up to the line, they're going to hit you with a blitz and blow you up. And that seems to be the ideology on this. Actually, there's no seeming. It's 100,000,000%. They've done nothing to address cornerbacks up to this current juncture. I'm sure after 53-man roster cuts, they're going to try to find what they can out of the bargain bin, what they'll pay, whatever. But Matthew Judon signs with the Miami Dolphins for what is an unconfirmed 1-year deal worth up to $6 million. I would imagine that it's a little north of the vet minimum. And, the guy's 33 years old. What did he have? 5.5 sacks last year with the Falcons. He's not the guy that he used to be. But if you remember, he spent some time with the Ravens. He's a scheme fit for what Weaver's running around here. And, just something to think about. If we're looking at the defensive line depth right now, I would have to imagine if barring, everybody being healthy and everything, you're looking at Jalen Phillips as one guy. You've got Benito Jones and Zach Sealer, and then Chubb. That's your starting front four. And then your rotation guys, which it'll obviously be different, but Chop Robinson, Kenneth Grant, probably I don't know. I know I'm kind of jumping the gun on this, but Zeke Biggers, the other rookie, and then you have now Matthew Judon out there. And to me, as far as people and player archetypes and what you want from what their skill sets are, the Dolphins are looking to apply pressure often and every single time. So, what do you think, Ali?
Oh, I think this is definitely a good move. These are the types of moves that teams that really feel that they're going to make a run generally do, right? We see the Eagles do these types of moves where they add to a room that already looks beefy. I mean, you already have Phillips, Chop, and Chubb. It already looks beefy. We had guys that we were, kind of excited about, such as Grayson Murphy. You look at a Cam Good, for example. Those are guys that I definitely would love to see in this room. Now you're adding
this guy McLendon is getting some love. Quentin Bell.
Yeah. You can start calling him McLovin because he seemed like he got a lot of love. Yes,
he's getting the McLovins.
So it's really interesting, but. And this is why I said when they make moves, there's tend to be more questions. I thought the front seven or the front four, which way you want to look at it, already look like the strength of this team. Why are we not addressing that corner room? This is, and let's just be clear before you answer that. This is probably one of the most strongest front, defensive line and linebacker rooms we've seen in a long time here as a Dolphin. This is one of the strongest I've seen it.
Yeah, there's no debating that.
And now, but I at the same time, you said this is like the lightest you've ever seen our corners. What's going on? You know what I mean? So, why have we not addressed that position? That's my question.
To me, right, I don't get it personally. I understand where their head is at schematically, right?
Yeah.
In a scheme that they're trying to run with the linebackers being able to play a little wider and a little deeper, and because of how good they are in space and coverage, especially that's Brooks, that's all of them, right? Willie Gay, all of these guys, while also playing, pretty much zone in coverage. Like all of your DBs are going to be in zone and every snap. You're hoping that your front four, actually, you're depending on your front four to get pressure, to get quarterbacks to move, to slide, to create timing and stuff like that. While also they're probably going to want and have Minka Fitzpatrick all over in the secondary.
Yeah.
Just to give them a bunch of mixed looks to make the offenses wonder what's going on. Essentially, the ideology on this is a bend don't break defense. That you're gonna give up. You're gonna give up in the passing game underneath these little dump off passes, all that stuff. You are signing yourself off to saying, listen, by the way of zone, if they're gonna come out and quick pass, the completions are going to get there. But, you get a pass breakup. Now it's second and whatever, and you have to take time to push the ball downfield, or, they're going to be looking for advantageous situations to put them down in distances in which they will now dial up blitzes. And not only that, but once a team does drive the length of the field and they get inside the 20, that zone is closer now. So now those windows are even tighter, so it gets harder. So essentially, this is the perfection of a bend don't break defense, and we'll have to see how the finished product looks.
Here's the other flip side of it, right? Now you're starting to get into that territory of what does my 53-man roster look like? You're going to have to start making decisions now, and this is the reason why. We mentioned some of the names that they have behind those four guys. You have Chubb, Phillips, Chop, and Judon now, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to make decisions on, do I keep Cam Good? Do I keep Grayson Murphy? Which I'm going to tell you right now, Grayson Murphy doesn't make this 53-man roster. You can say bye-bye to him. Another team will pick up Grayson Murphy.
He's getting snagged up instantly.
So you need
if anything, they should try to trade him.
Filled and done.
I mean, I get that Grayson Murphy's a little light, but he's super effective. He's super effective.
Got to figure out a way to protect and stash him because another team's going to try to grab him instantly off of waivers too. Here's and we talked about McClendon, and maybe there's another guy or two out there that I haven't mentioned. You got to make decisions on these guys, and I know. I see Nene saying, Aloysius signed this guy and everyone's talking Super Bowls, right? I like the young guys. I like the young guys too. I'm looking at the long term of things. And this is why I'm going to bring up this subject real quick. Is this an insurance policy in the event that things aren't working out before week 6 and we decide, all right, we need to start clearing house? Because, you think about it, Phillips, I know there's a rumor people think we're shopping him, which I don't really believe that rumor.
I don't believe that rumor either.
But in an event that things haven't worked out, we're what? 1-4 or 1-5 by week 6 or 7. And what do they call it? You decide, you know what? Time to pack it all up. Let's start trading for assets. Phillips is going to be one of those assets. You think about it. Are they really going to pay Phillips? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to pay Phillips.
I mean, what's it going to cost for Phillips if he doesn't get if he doesn't play every game this year, or misses, if he misses a game or so, that ain't going to kill it so much, depending on his numbers. But if he misses significant time like he has, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to work out good. And Chubb. I mean, how many games has Chubb started and finished as a Miami Dolphin?
I don't think he's finished the year yet, bro. But the thing is,
he didn't play all year last year, and the year prior, what did he play? 10 games? Like Chubb, again.
He was looking good that year too. That year he only played 8 or 10. He was looking good, and then I don't know what happened.
I wonder this, right? When I see Matthew Judon, which upon initially when they were talking about bringing him in and that it was going to happen, I was like, I don't get it. What the, I mean, why are you doing this? This is no different than what Mike McDaniel has done with the wide receiving unit. It's the fuel that makes the defense go. If Phillips or Chubb does go down at any given point, much less talking about trading them, you're going to see a significant drop off that ultimately is going to completely destroy this defense. Because if you're not getting the pressure in the way this defense is designed that Weaver wants it to work, you're cooked. You're cooked. You're cooked. They're going to be putting Chubb and Phillips on a snap count. You know how I know? Because if you're not, you're going to freaking get them injured, and then you're going to not have them at all. You bring in a guy like Judon, you have Chop, you have some of these other dudes like Murphy and stuff, and
Quentin Bell,
Cameron Good, Quentin Bell. You want to move these guys in, and at any given moment, you're never going to have your D-line look like anything other than compatible. Because if you got Judon and Chop out there, if you've got Chop and Phillips out there, if you've got, Chubb and Cameron Good out there, every which way, you're not taking a level off of what you need to have happen defensively. So in that aspect, we want them to get a corner because we know we need it by the depth, by the talent.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, they need to not have any drop off at that D line. A corner might help the cornerback unit, but if Phillips goes down and they're now, burning the rubber on these other guys and it's getting worse, you're going to see this defense fall apart extremely quickly.
Yeah, I get you. They filled an Achilles heel that they have on that defense. I definitely agree. I think having Matthew Judon in the room makes complete sense. You can completely rotate your outside linebackers every play if you wanted. You can pair them up. Have Phillips and Judon, or have Phillips and Chubb, or Chop and Judon, or Chop and Chubb, or however you want to think of it. And they can just continuously, run them in and out, and they'll always be, they won't be tired. They'll be ready to go.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the hope, right? Like you want to be.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, bud. Go and finish what you're saying.
You want this D line to be the tip of the spear, metaphorically and literally, at all times. And the second that tip of that spear is dulled, the entire thing breaks, because we hadn't gone to anything other than this since Weaver got here. He was really heavy-handed in getting the type of linebackers he wanted. He liked the talent we had. And then all off season, from the first round pick to who we signed and what we've done since then, is this front seven is going to do everything. And the secondary is suspect. But if you think you're going to push the ball downfield, my linebackers, my outside linebackers, my D-line is going to tear you up. You better take what we give you, because the second you need to get more than we're willing to give you, your ass is mine. And we'll see if it works. I think it's an extremely bold move and strategy, and I don't have a super amount of faith in its effectiveness, mainly because we've got a lot of guys that have Chubb and Phillips have have an injury history, so I'm worried about that, and that really is where it all tends to fall apart.
So I want to comment to this real quick. This is Jamie Reichart, right? That's who this is.
Yeah,
Big Toes. Okay. It's funny that you say that he's a smaller.
No, that's not Jamie. That's Raph.
Raph. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
Raph.
apologize. I can't tell because the name is nothing that I've ever seen before. Sorry. So Grayson Murphy reminds me of a smaller AVG, he says. That's funny you said that, because that's like the second person that has told me that. So I've been watching him, right? I can definitely see it. And I'll tell you what, if he can get anywhere close to AVG, I'm sorry. And they don't
put his number in the rafters, baby. He's staying here forever.
I'm telling you, if this guy is anything close to AVG and they don't get him on the 53-man roster, I'm going to go ballistic. And also, shout out to Nene with the harshest comment I've seen in a long time. She says, and let me find it real quick. And we were talking about rotation. Yeah, rotate the IR roster. Damn. That is the harshest thing ever, Nene.
That's pretty funny. Oof. God, shit. Well,
Oh.
Nene is on a mission from the good Lord above to make sure Christopher Aloysius Greer is gone. Nene, he ain't going nowhere, at least not this year, and probably not till next year. So, when the Armageddon comes, and we go ahead and just rake the land, when Tartarus explodes and what's it? God, I'm blanking on the Greek god. I wish Color was here. He could tell me his name. Destroys the world. Then we'll go then because Chris Greer. I don't even know if at the end of Chris Greer is the cockroach that makes it, dog. That's it. He's the guy that makes it. So
my question is Chris Greer really calling the shots at what players they're bringing in? And the reason I question it, specifically about the secondary, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the guy that we credited that he always had to add a corner to the roster? No matter what, he was always adding corners, even when we didn't need it. And lo and behold, we're like trying to play like, let's go to Dollar General for our corners or pick them up as soon as they get fired from McDonald's. I mean, come on.
I mean, not really, because it always seemed like even before, always with the Dolphins, they've always had at least one, which you would perceive to be a great, like a top corner, right? Okay. Whether it was a guy that they just drafted, somebody is a first rounder, somebody is a big free agent. With Brian Flores, they had two top tier corners. But that was his identity of his defense. And shout out to Nene with the fire, Christopher Aloysius Greer the third, cooking.
Thank you for the $5
relentless. Hit the like button, everybody, if you haven't already. Shout out to everybody who's made it in here. A little bit early show for the boys, but again, we're trying to get a little bit earlier as we can.
Would you be okay if they put Grayson Murphy on that let's stash you for next year package like they did Taj Washington?
They already did that with him.
I don't know if I feel good with that.
Yeah, I don't know if they could do that with him again. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they could. I guess you could put him on season-ending IR or whatever.
His neck hurts. Let's put him on IR and keep him for next year. He just needs to
bulk up. He keeps going like this. He hurt his neck.
Yeah.
He keeps going like that. He keeps hurting. I mean, I don't know why. We got to stash him away. I don't know. I gotta imagine with as heavy-handed as Miami's been with their front four, especially in the draft and free agency, everything. I gotta imagine that they do put someone on like that PUP list that they're out for 10 games, but they can be reactivated. They're definitely going to put somebody on that list that is a pass rusher. Who is it? I don't know. Is it going to be Cameron Good? Is it going to be Grayson Murphy? Is it going to be Mo Kamara? I don't know.
Hot note on Mo Kamara. I don't know if he makes this roster, bro.
Mo Kamara's been injured. That's why you haven't seen him. He's been injured. So whether or not, that's why I think he might be a guy that they go ahead and say, hey, let's deactivate him. I got to be honest. I wonder if there's a little bit of something else going on with Mo Kamara. Maybe something about cut weight. Maybe it's something about game weight. It just feels like something else is going on there with the Mo Kamara thing.
We always thought he could play defensive tackle. Maybe
I thought he could too. I thought he could play D tackle. I thought that's what they're going to do. They're going to beef the boy up and put him as a true D end D tackle. But maybe they're trying to lean him out and use that power as an edge setter, especially with this Weaver defense now.
Yeah.
Because speed is great, but really power is what you want. You want in this defense, you want gap control. You want to be able to take your tackles in a pass set where they're backing up and you keep them in line. So if the quarterback steps up, you can cut in. And you really want everything. The only gaps you want to have open on a pass set is one in which your linebacker is going to blitz through. And they do that purposefully. So there's going to be some gamesmanship. And I want to see if these boys are big enough and strong enough to move people around like they'd ask. So we're going to find out. Hit the like button, everyone, please. Another thing that's kind of slid, under the radar, that Matthew Judon was not the only signing today. Did you know that?
We also brought in an offensive lineman. We worked out a slew of them, but we picked one.
We worked out offensive lineman Ozzie Hutchinson, offensive lineman Elijah Ellis, and offensive lineman Mason Brooks. And Mason Brooks makes the cut. We end up putting Yandi Kahate. I can't do it, dude. These names are getting harder and harder and harder every single year. Every year, these guys have the most craziest names.
Let me take a look. I'll take a look at it.
The guy that they placed on IR is
Yanni. It's Yanni
Kahuste, right?
Yeah.
It's not. You don't pronounce it as a J. You pronounce that as an H sound. So it's Kahuste.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a hard name.
Wasn't he the guy that we brought in?
That guy Yandi, he's been here freaking 3 weeks.
Yeah, we brought him in for another injured offensive lineman. Phil Denny or something like that, or Eddie. I think.
How many fucking old linemen we got on IR right now? 8, 9. I mean, how many IR spots we talking here? But
meanwhile, Dalton Risner went to go visit the Bengals. So, just saying, he's still out there.
Well, this Mason Brooks guy, he was with the Commanders his entire rookie season, and then placed on the practice squad with the team as an undrafted free agent. And he spent 2024 with the Carolina Panthers, and then also ended up on the practice squad of the Colts. He spent, most recently with the UFL DC Defenders. So he's kind of a guy that's still getting his feet underneath him. The Dolphins, that Kahuste guy was only here a week. He's a German player. Or no, wait. No. No, he's not. That's another guy. That guy's name is Jermaine. My fault. We also have another guy, Jermaine Ifide on IR too. That's the other dude.
I was telling you about. We brought him in to cover that guy because
look, one guy's last name is Ifide, the other guy's last name is Kahuste. It's just too much, boys. It's too much. I'm tired of learning guys that aren't even playing and going on IR after a week's last fucking name when they're this hard. If you want to be memorable, change your last name to something a little bit easier readable, and stop going on IR. I would do those two things, gentlemen. I mean, because right now there's those two dudes that are on IR. We also have, other injuries. We got Austin Jackson that's injured, Eichenberg that's injured, Andrew Meyer that's injured. I mean, the two most suspect position groups, the O-line and the cornerback room, can't catch a break, dude. Can't catch a break.
Speaking of cornerback room, thank you for the $2 donation, Craig. Craig says, could we be making a trade for a corner? Well, let's
get into it, Ollie. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about that. Supposedly El Capitan's inside source inside the building is making a claim, according to what they said in the spaces today. They said this was your guy, El Cap. At least that's what Batman said.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know who Batman is. Nobody on YouTube knows who that is.
Yeah,
that's not the real.
That, we're shopping supposedly, I should say. We're shopping Phillips for an elite corner.
So this is something that we've seen come across the wire today. It is a rumor type of thing, but let's not act like this isn't something we've heard before. But I will state this. Now, I'm not saying Mike McDaniel, you can believe every word out of his mouth. Shout out to Night Wolf and Nomi Sumrider. Everybody hit the like button, please. Where was I? I lost my. I got caught in the chat.
About the rumor.
Okay. Yeah. Coach Mike McDaniel was asked with the signing of Judon, essentially, it was a two-parted question, but they really only directed it at one thing, and it was, hey, is one of these guys injured? Are you worried about an injured Phillips or Chubb or something? You know, they were kind of picking at that. And also, is there some, basically they cornered it as, are you expecting some changes in the edge rushing room? And that's why you brought Matthew Judon in. And he said, no. Now, that doesn't mean someone isn't getting traded, but if anyone was, it would be Phillips. I could see where the easiest lines of deduction could be, where Phillips is a trade bait because there's chances are you're not going to extend him. Or if he blows up this year, you can't afford him. If he doesn't blow up this year, you're not gonna franchise tag him. So are you gonna sign him? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It is kind of weird. If anyone was going to be traded, it would most certainly be whatchamacallit, Phillips. People in chat are asking, he said, could we trade Chubb? Could we see Bradley Chubb getting traded for a corner? I wish we could trade him, but the bottom line is Chubb is all too often injured, and he's got some hefty dollars on his.
He's much older too than Phillips too.
He's not that much older. He's 29, 30 maybe. So he's not like he's beyond. He's the same age as Minkah Fitzpatrick. Him and Minkah Fitzpatrick and Bradley Chubb both came out in the same draft, so they're the same age.
29 years old. You're
yeah,
right.
I told you he's not as old as you think. It seems like he's been around forever, but he really hasn't.
It does seem that way for real.
He's only 3 years older than Chubb or Phillips. So, but Phillips doesn't have that massive contract behind him. Mm-hmm. And you know, they would hold the rights to the contract if they traded him during the year. To me, that's kind of where it's at. Plus, are the Miami Dolphins going to sign sign Phillips one way or another? You can't afford Chubb and Phillips. You got Chop Robinson now. There's the replacement. You know, to me, I don't want them to trade Phillips, but I understand it in a business sense because he is an asset. What could you get for him? Mm-hmm. I don't know. In a perfect world, they would trade Chubb for peanuts to get back the money that they're owed on Chubb, and they could use that to go and get a corner. But again, this negates our entire first argument. It is leaned heavily on this front seven. You go get a lockdown corner, and yeah, it will bolster the team, but not if you take a piece off of the front. And they've done everything in their power for that front seven, and especially the front four. So that's just where it's at. They've had plenty of opportunities, and they've had money, and they go and get guys like Jack Jones. They go and get guys like, you know, Sheffield. They go and, you know, they're fielding guys like Storm Duck as their best corner right now. Storm Duck, clearly the best corner right now. This is a UDFA. Mm-hmm. Now, Cam Smith kind of showed up a little bit in that preseason game, and Lord willing, he's going to take a step forward and actually be something on this football team. That would be incredible. That would answer all of our problems. If Cam Smith could be serviceable and live up to even just being a second round pick, much less, you know, top flight guy, he would literally, I don't want to say save the defense, but he would literally be a key integral part of the defense. It would be incredible, honestly. It really would. So
yeah, definitely.
Another question I see in chat: do you think the Dolphins could trade for a corner and sign another from free agency? I don't think they're going to trade for any corners unless there's some kind of player swap and stuff like that. I don't see that happening. It would be very, I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of obvious possibility. We know they have depth with some guys that they like, with Cameron Good and Grayson Murphy and stuff like that. Now adding Matthew Judon, it is a top heavy unit, but I think it's a top heavy unit by desire and design at the corner, at the D-line positions. So if they did, and it was Phillips, and they got some picks, got some capital back, and maneuvered that to another team, maybe. I don't think they got the money. Again, we will be in the bargain bag. What we're really going to see is after 53-man roster cuts, there's going to be some prize cuts up and down, and the Dolphins won't be in the bidding for that first wave of guys, because some of that first wave of guys, those top tier guys, are going to get picked up by other teams, and they're going to make money. It's that second wave of guys that the money's kind of the same everywhere, but I might as well go get that money in a tax-free state living in Miami with the Miami Dolphins. That's how we're going to win. And I see it being of the ilk of Artie Burns, another corner that we had come get down. Somebody with, has some stuff, but at the same time hasn't lived up to their abilities, but, is still serviceable, because that's all they've shown me up to this point. I could try to anticipate what I would do. I know what the hell I would do. I wouldn't have signed Matthew Judon, and I'm not saying nothing against him. He's a great football player, but I would have already gotten another corner. Bring me Asante Samuel Jr., bring me Stephon Gilmore, bring me somebody that has a skill set that what you're gonna get out of them.
There's a reason. It's a very odd reason why they haven't actually gone out.
Like, why not?
Why are we waiting for? I don't really know. Like, are we really just trying to get through the entire preseason and then we sign somebody? I don't really.
I don't know, man. I'm not really understanding what the game plan is here. I'm just not seeing. Like, maybe okay. All right. Hold on. As I'm saying this, I got an epiphany. Got me in a little epiphany right here. Okay. If you build a defense with your front seven, with a certainty, with the rotation guys, and whatever guys you're going to have as the backups, insert D tackle, insert pass rusher, insert standing linebacker on your team, and it's going to run and operate this exact same all the time. You can plan around the secondary. Hit the like button. You can plan around the secondary where if someone does go down, it's insert, plug, and play. We're going to have you play zone in your position, and that's what we need from you. We're not going to dial you up in blitzes. We're not going to leave you out on an island against, Stephon Diggs or Justin Jefferson. You're always going to be in zone. You're always going to have underneath help on this play and over the top help on that play. You're only going to be worried about the sideline and trying to push them into the linebackers on these. And that's the plan. The plan is that if anyone goes down in the secondary, I can find another guy off the street and get the exact same out of it. And we're not going to change as a team. Whereas if I have, a top flight corner on one of the sides and he goes down, now the entire defense is in disarray. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know. Hit the like button, the realist. Hit the like button. Go. True Finn, I see you. Carla, make sure you hit the hell out of that like button, Carla. I see you in there. Just, I don't know. I don't know why you do this to me, Carla.
So Mason Brooks, the offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share this photo of him. Hold on.
What, the hockey photo?
I don't know if you want to call it a hockey photo, but just give me a second. Let me share this. Share screen. No. Is this his hockey photo?
No.
Look at this
That's
guy.
him with the UFL.
Yeah. Or
Big Red. Big Red.
Yeah. Look at that. He's a ginger, bro.
Not yet, man. We will.
That means he might, to be honest, though, it might be a good thing. He might have some of that serial killer we like around here. You know what I mean?
I think if he had serial killer, he wouldn't be playing in the UFL. Just saying, buddy.
You're right. I agree. But maybe, who knows?
Again, I'm praying. Listen, hopefully he's the next great guard on the Miami Dolphins offensive line. He takes it. My job. No one gets it. He freaking murders Liam Eichenberg, which makes most of the fans of the team like him. And he goes out there and he's breaking face masks every week. Lord willing, hopefully this is the opportunity he's been dying for, and he doesn't let it go. Please, 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 please. But I don't know. Shout out to the homie Nightwolf. Boys, just my opinion. But we should have traded Parker when we had the chance. Xavien as well. And yes, Phillips before it becomes less valued due to injury. I mean, listen, Nightwolf, that's kind of the thing. And I'm a big-time Jalen Phillips. I loved Jalen Phillips coming out of the draft. I thought he was going to be the next Jason Taylor. I thought he was going to be better than Jason Taylor. I had such high hopes for this guy because I just see a freak athlete. But I'm also not dumb. I always try to, I have to look at the NFL for what it really is. And it's about the moves you make and the moves you don't make and selling while the stock is high before it's like trading crypto or doing stocks. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And I'm not saying, Jalen Phillips is never going to be nothing because that's just not true. I can't be certain on that. But I do know what he's been as a Dolphin. And if he comes out this year and plays 7 games and goes down with injury and misses the rest, then now what, dude? Now what? Now what are we going to do? Now we're stuck with this guy. He's hurt the team, and I feel bad for him. Where if he gets traded, you do the best for you and for him in a trade, not to mention, right? Mm-hmm. He gets traded to, I don't know, the Seahawks, right? They want him. They love this guy. They're going to give him a paycheck. They're going to give him a multiple year deal where if he does go down for them, he's got some time to make some money and continue on. And shout out to Nightwolf again, telling you he loves that hat, Ali. Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you where you can get one. You can get one from
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Yeah, go to Fanatics. Get it. You're officially licensed everything. Use our link below, bro.
Yeah, use our link below in Fanatics. It's in the description below. You also, from what I understand, I know, right, Nightwolf, it was a pretty great plug. Way to slip that in there. That was, bam, dude. Way to get him. Look what a pro.
You can also get this sweatshirt that I have if you want to, intercept cancer with the Intercept Cancer Initiative. Yeah. Yep. You can get there from Fanatics as well. You can also get the new sideline hats, which I didn't like the sideline hats this year. I think they're plain. The logo's like super tiny. I don't know what they're going for.
If you go to tftgnetwork.com, you can get straight up on there to the Fanatics link for some Dolphin stuff. And we've got some special things in there too, you guys. You already know. Hit the like button again. And now let's kind of get on to this because there's been a little bit of talk, especially from one of the infamous beat writers here in the community, Omar Kelly. He's been very, very on board with the Miami Dolphins signing Xavien Howard. Now, I say bring Xavien Howard here. The guy's good for his age, for his cost at this point in his career. I wouldn't poo-poo a move like that. I do kind of wonder this, though. Could you have ever brought Xavien Howard here with Minkah Fitzpatrick on the team? Could you do that?
I don't think so.
There's no way. First of all, Minkah's making the bucks while Xavien's not. And Xavien is, Xavien's a real one. Let's call it what it is. I like Minkah. I think Minkah's a good kid. Young man, whatever. I think Xavien Howard just come up a little bit different than him, right? You know what I'm saying? He's just a little bit different cut. Appreciate you, Wesley. Hit the like button, brother. The Judon signing. You have to rewind that, Wesley. We done moved up. So yeah, I would have liked to have him on this team, but I'm really what I'm asking for is that level of production at the cornerback. But the Miami Dolphins are screaming at us that that's not what they need. That's not what they want. That's not what's necessary. That's what they keep saying. That's it. They're telling you, they're telling us, they're telling everyone, we can make it with dudes in the back, with upside, we need in the back. We need young guys who got fresh legs that can run around a lot. Because they're not going to be able to take off plays. They're going to have to, move in their zones, and they're going to have to be able to break down or back up to where they have their help on these routes. And they're going to keep it simple. You're going to play here or here, and here's your zones, and that's it. They're not going to leave them out on the island. I would have liked that for Xavien Howard, but I think for the same type of play and probably this close to, if not cheaper money, with the same type of output in this defense, go get Stephon Gilmore. You don't get none of the headaches you get with Xavien Howard. We don't have to worry about Xavien Howard having some chick pull up, on Instagram that's dating one of your other players, and Xavien gave her, the herp. I mean, it's what it is, buddy. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but
and inappropriate photos to that person's kid too. That was another thing he did too. So
yeah, he's done a couple of dirty things.
I like when Xavien Howard plays like a dog, but the last 2 seasons, we didn't really see that. We didn't really see him playing like a dog. He's been out of football for a year, maybe 2 years now. I don't know how it's going to look. The Colts can sign them, but, to be honest, we feed our unwanted corners to the Colts. We've done, this isn't the first Dolphin to go over there. Will he, be able to do something there? I don't know. We'll see. I already expect, with or without Xavien Howard, that team, that first game, I do expect the Colts to bring it. And if we win, then great. If we don't, then yeah, they brought it.
Here's the thing. Xavien Howard revenge game week 1. The narrative will write themselves. Is he going to look to, get in the head of some people over here? Is he going to know something about somebody? Is he going to get on the podium when they ask him? Because eventually they will. When it's week 1 heading to there, and I'll be watching the Colts pressers when Xavien Howard comes up and he's asked about the Dolphins. What's he going to say? They're going to ask him specifically about Tua. They're going to ask him about the team, Mike McDaniel. He knows all these guys. What's he going to say? What's X-Man going to say? That's the question. What's he going to say about his team?
I don't think he says anything, to be honest.
I think he would, you got to remember, there is a little showmanship in the game. It's sports entertainment now. It's not professional sports. It's just like it's not professional wrestling. It's entertainment wrestling now. World Wrestling Entertainment, not World Wrestling Federation. So, to me,
I mean, outside of Waddle and Tyreek and Tua, though, outside of that, what can he say? A lot's different. We have new offensive linemen. We have new defensive linemen. The linebackers that are here weren't there when he was here. The secondary looks all different. He doesn't know any of these people, right? He doesn't know. He doesn't know the DC. You're right. So what can he say that's really going to be that the teams already don't know on their own? You know what I mean?
What he could say? He could trash talk like a mofo. He could trash talk. What does he got to lose? 1-year deal with the Colts. He's now a Colt. That's his ex old lady. You know what I'm saying? He could.
All I know is when Waddle pulls up, I can see Waddle turn around and look at him and goes, "How's that groin?" as he walks past him. To be honest.
Oh,
that's what we knew. Xavien.
Shut up, jock itch.
Not just that. I'm talking about that's what he had most of the time with his last season here. Oh, it was a groin injury, and if it wasn't groin injury, it was his hammy. How's that hammy? You know what I mean?
Listen, that groin injury was the only name they could call what was really injured. Let's call it for what it is, because he had an injury in a groin nether regions, but it wouldn't be technically a groin injury, and he didn't sustain it in football.
Let's also not be hypocritical about it. Wasn't Xavien Howard one of those cats that wasn't practicing around here? Wasn't he one of the ones that, we can excuse him from practice and just keep him on vet days the entire season? All right. So he can, if he wants to be on vet days and go collect a paycheck,
You know why they did that, right?
fine.
You know why they did that, right?
Why?
Because Xavien Howard in practice was killing their wide receivers, destroying the offensive schemes. It's the truth. It's the truth. When he was hitting it and he was still Xavien Howard, he was destroying the offensive game plan, the schemes, and breaking the confidence of young wide receivers. That's what he did. He did not go slightly. Everybody knows that Devontae Parker was literally destroyed by him. By him.
Well, Devontae Parker could be destroyed by anybody,
That's
including
true.
Storm Duck. But that being said, if you're right, let's say you're right, I'll buy into it. Why would they do that, bro? Because doesn't iron sharpen iron? No wonder we're soft. No wonder we're soft. I'm just saying. No wonder.
That's the I mean, you're preaching to the choir here, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know why they did it like that. So, but that's the facts. And if I were Xavien Howard, I would be talking smack about Tua. I'd be talking smack about everybody, dude. That's what I would do. Why not? Why not? It's only going to make Colts fans love you more while give you hype in media. As a guy who's just getting off retirement, had his own dark skeletons brought to light in there. He plays well for the Colts. He could get a little freaking goodie bag on his way up at the friggin' NFL. And if he's got a little bit of this and that to boot, that's how this game works, dude. We know Richard Sherman, big time player, Super Bowl winner, had all that stuff, was excellent in his career. But when he dropped off a cliff, that mouth stopped. You didn't hear from him no more. You know what I'm saying? It was like he had those couple of years and then it was silence and then gone. The only guy
his last year, I want to say his last 2 years at San Francisco when he went there.
He looked
terrible. No, I don't think he's terrible. I thought he was really good there. But he accepted his role as being the mentor type of player. So his whole thought process changed at that point. But I see what your point is. I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I'll tell you what, Utah Fin fans, what's up, buddy? Good to see you here. Says Phillip is going to be traded. I mean, listen, apparently Phillips is going to get up out of here. Everybody seems pretty certain that Phillips is getting traded.
Chubb has too big of a contract to trade. That's what.
Yeah, you can't. No, if you can get rid of Chubb, it's going to take Chubb plus, a round pick for someone to eat that. And that's, if you want to call it addition from subtraction, fine, we could do that. But I don't know. If someone is getting traded, it is Jalen Phillips. I'll say that. But is this team in any type of situation to let anybody go at all? If you're going to trade anybody, you might as well start trading everybody. I'm just saying, if you're going to let Chubb go, or if you're going to sell Chubb with a pick and a box of Cracker Jacks so you can get your money back, and you're going to try to get what you can from Jalen Phillips, and then what are you going to do? You might as well just get rid of Tyreek, trade Waddle, trade Tua, trade everybody. If that's what we're doing, but it's not. That's next year. If this doesn't work out, we are sitting on the precipice of the year. Right now, this is the year before it's the year too long. What do I mean by that? The year that they go too long. They let it ride too long. We saw 1 year too long from Joe Philbin. We saw 1 year too long from Tony Sperano, which debatable. We saw 1 year too long from Adam Gase. This is the playbook of Stephen Ross and this management team. Whether or not it's the same guys doing it, that's how it works. This year is not the too long year, because where's the where's the full off season of Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat? Mike McDaniel on the graphic on PFF or NBC, Sports NBC, where these are the coaches on the hot seat, blah, 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 Mike McDaniel. We didn't get that whole year of that yet. We didn't. That's why, to me, that's next year. And it could be beyond next year if the Dolphins find themselves with 10 plus wins and in the playoffs and, making some noise. So, what do you think, Ali?
I kind of agree with you, man. I'm going in this season not expecting anything. You know what I mean? So if I'm surprised, I'm surprised. I still, even with adding Matthew Judon, I still think we're right around an 8-win team at the very most. That's where I'm at right now. That secondary is just it's too light for my liking at all. I don't know what sane team would go into a season with that type of secondary, to be honest. That's just me, though.
I agree.
Until they address it, I'm going with at least, at the actually most, I'll say 8 wins. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If we go on a run and we get to the playoffs, great. I'm happy. I'm gonna cheer. I'm gonna celebrate. Have a beer. You name it. But yeah, I don't really.
I mean, right now, your starting corners are Kendall Sheffield. Kendall Sheffield. Strong safety starter right now, is Ashton Davis. You got Minka Fitzpatrick as your free safety. You got Storm Duck as your other corner, and you've got Mike Hilton as the nickel. And then
I was trying to be funny with the who's. Sorry, go ahead.
I know. And then if you look beyond that, your backup corners are Ethan Bonner, who's got a hamstring injury. You've got Jack Jones, who we brought in here. You've got Cornell Armstrong, who's the backup nickel. Then you got Cam Smith, the rookie Jason Marshall. You've got, just BJ Adams, Ethan Robinson, Isaiah Johnson. Like I would say amongst themselves, it's a competitive bunch because the top is not far from the bottom, but that's not a good thing in this case. But there's a lot of unknowns, right? Is Jack Jones going to be good as, a starting corner? I don't know. Again, to me, they're mitigating all this with their front seven, and they're looking to, just try to keep these guys in zone and play a prevent defense from the secondary while playing a hair on fire defense with the front seven. Color, welcome. So you made it. What's going on?
I just came to shed some light on why everybody so seems to be so certain that Phillips is getting skedaddled. It might have something to do with the articles circulating around that name him as the guy we're looking to trade. I don't know if you've seen any of those. I'm trying to locate one now to see if I can check to see who the source was. I just saw it come across my feed for a second a little earlier, and I didn't really read it, but yeah. So there's like articles circulating naming Phillips. None of them are saying anything about Chubb.
What are you talking about, Color?
Yeah, I came across a headline earlier talking about the Dolphins looking to shop Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, that's the rumor that kind of has spread a little bit further.
But as far as why people are talking about him and not Chubb, because none of these articles are naming Chubb.
Of course, they're not naming Chubb because nobody in their right mind would trade for Chubb right now. He didn't play a snap last year. He's due 20-something million right now.
Yeah,
it's like 26 mil or something like that. 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money, and the guy, he hasn't played a full season in 4 years. Has he ever played a full season since his sophomore year? Since his sophomore year, as a pro, I think every year, the last 5 years or whatever the hell it is he's been
talking
injured.
about JP, right?
To both of them,
yeah.
But at least JP isn't owed $10 million more,
yeah,
and in 3.5 years,
for another contract soon.
Yes, and that's usually when teams want a guy. When they're not paid, they can trade for him on a low risk, high reward, and give him a contract at the end of the year if it bodes well. That would be a team that needs pass rushers. Let's be real. To me, no team is calling for Chubb. While if the Dolphins are saying, "Hey, we're fielding some of our players," there might be some teams calling about Phillips.
Well, I don't care if it was a preseason game or not. I think after Saturday, I don't see how anybody can't see Jalen Phillips as expendable at this moment.
Well, I would say this, right?
Given the injury history and the, whatever else, and the fact that, look, I've said it last year, he has to be careful that we don't get used to life without him. I was saying that in regards to, like Cam Good coming in. Obviously, I wasn't sure that was going to work out or not at the time, but you had guys balling out in the secondary linebacker role. Guys like what's his name, Dodson, Jordan Brooks, all these guys, and it's like Phillips has to be careful not to let us get used to life without him. And if you notice, the undrafted free agent Ethan Robinson ending the game the other night, I don't care who it was against in what circumstances, that was a spectacular athletic play and 150% effort. So you're talking about an undrafted free agent, not to say he's a guy by himself, but collectively, when you've got a group of guys like that to pick and choose from to build your roster going forward, I don't see how Phillips don't easily become a trade piece.
So, well, here's the official,
and I'm his biggest fan, bro. You know what I mean? I got a Hurricanes hat, Adidas hat with the man's signature on it.
Here's the defensive end / outside linebacker / it's funny because last year all these players were outside linebackers. This year they're all defensive ends because of the scheme change. Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson, where'd he go? Hold on a second. They've got Jalen Phillips as the Sam linebacker right now from the outside linebacking. It's crazy. Those are your three top guys. Then you have Quentin Bell, Grayson Murphy, Mo Kamara, Cameron Good, Derek McLennan, Alex Huntley, and then you have, that's it. Those are the guys. Now you have Matthew Judon. To me, when I'm looking at that, and Mo Kamara's been injured. I think he's going to be coming back to practice this week, so we'll probably get to finally see him some. But with the fact that they have DNs and linebackers all playing their edge, and they're going to demand 2, if not 3 of these guys all the time, they need Matthew Judon. That's the facts. So I wish they would.
And that's the other thing. Veteran or not, worn tread or not, you know what I mean? He's still a kind of guy, if you bring him into the, adding to the context of the group dynamic that I was mentioning a minute ago, he also helps, make life easier without Jalen Phillips. I mean, you just listed a bunch of guys. Now, they don't have their positions right next to their name on the box score from the other night, but I want to repeat the box score from the other night. The list will go with 10 or 11 of these names that all at least had 3 total tackles, mostly solo tackles, which show effort, and guys that at least had 2 or 3 solo tackles, a couple with some sacks, a couple with some tackles for losses, and a couple with some QB hits. And this is in order from basically the most total tackles to the least. And just listen to these names because you just mentioned half of them, or if not all of them, Kat. Jason Marshall Jr., 6. Daquan Jackson, 6. Channing Tindall, 6 total tackles the other night. Channing Tindall. The
Yeah,
guy
no,
we have
I
that's been
noticed.
a ghost since he's been here.
You know, it's
Eugene Asante, 6. Cameron Good, 5. 3 solo, half a sack, 1 QB hit. Jordan Phillips, 4. Sack and a half, tackle for a loss, 2 QB hits. Isaiah Johnson, 4. Grayson Murphy, 3. 3 of them to solo, 1 sack, and 4 QB hits. Willie Gay Jr., 3, plus a tackle for loss. Jordan Colbert, 3, with a tackle for loss. Derek McClendon, 3. I mean, Quentin Bell, 3. Who need? Okay, so really quick, that's 75 total tackles, 35 of them combined. 35 of them solo, to Detroit's 69 and 39 solo. Okay, that's life without Jalen Phillips. I don't care if it's a preseason game or not.
I would disagree in the extent that if you go back and watch the game, and watch a little bit, that it was an interesting start for a game in which it was pretty much all backups, was Benito Jones, who we know is on this team. I would say he's DT2. He's starting next to.
It also doesn't reflect the effect Quentin Bell had on the game.
I got that, but when I look at the game, if you watch early when Benito Jones was out there, he was all over it, all over everything, a force.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is our depth I'm talking about.
Though. That's why. That again, and I'm not saying that this isn't a good thing, and we got to measure with what we're given.
What I'm saying is these are the guys we would have to rely on if we decided to trade a guy like Phillips. We'd have to pick or choose 1 or 2 of these guys from that list I just listed.
And I see that, and that's why
I'm fine with that.
Again, to me, that's why my head scratch moment when we signed Matthew Judon didn't make sense. Now you can parlay that into, it makes sense if they trade Jalen Phillips, and that seems to be something that's
because some of these guys are still young.
Guys are good enough to have
in
place. You take Grayson Murphy and Mo Kamara and Judon, and you can replace all of what Phillips was doing.
Right, exactly. And that's because of one person in our room. And if you don't think these total tackles, which speak to effort, okay, if you don't think that has to do with the guy behind the joystick, Anthony Weaver, bro,
I would say
this dude's a good coach.
It is in his calculus. But I think this color, two things. Number one, Anthony Weaver has went ahead and all the way dating back to, free agency with what they've done in the linebacking unit and getting all that stuff. What up, Iceman? Hit the like button, brother. To the draft in the first round with Kenneth Grant, to even just up to this point by adding Matthew Judon. This front 4 in particular, a part of this front 7, is everything to this defense. Look at the secondary. All a bunch of guys that, on a lot of teams would be rotation guys, much less starters. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely.
And with all of that taken into consideration, and here's the thing. Remember, a lot of people forget Anthony Weaver, good defense. He was hard to get here to become the Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator. He was even harder to keep this past year. Now, depending on what happens with Mike McDaniel, one way or the other, Anthony Weaver in the back of his head's got to be thinking, this year is the year I put a pin into getting a chance to be in a head coaching job with a little bit of room to run, not the lame duck coach, to get some room to build. And I'm saying behind the doors, the things they said, we want you to stay here. We'll give you this money, and we'll also let you have the first round pick. We'll give you this amount of stuff. We're going to let you build your defense to showcase what you do best, not just for this team, but for your career, for whatever comes next beyond the Dolphins, or maybe he's definitely first in line for if for interim head coach, but I would imagine that they didn't speak on
Well,
that.
I think that it depends, Cap, on how large the disparity is between the quality of our defense going forward and the quality of our offense.
Well, Color, I would say there's an immensely large disparity with how much money was spent on defense to how much money was spent on offense, all the way up until Anthony Weaver got here.
Well, the reason I
All the way
say
until
that,
Anthony Weaver got here.
well, the reason I say that is because in order for both guys not to be gone and one of them to be kept, their side of the ball has to be so spectacular that it's not even close and it's clear who's who, right? Otherwise, they're both gone. So, in other words, if with what we've done, you point out the money we've spent, and with what we're seeing, in the preliminary with potential and all that, year and a half, 2 seasons, at the most, if we're not holding teams to 16 points a game, that, in other words, if we are, and we still are failure to launch on offense, that might be a large enough disparity to want to save Weaver and make him our head coach. You know what I mean?
At the minimum, Weaver's got to listen. At the minimum,
it has to be like, wow, look what you did with our defense.
The Dolphins only win 6 games
compared to good offense.
Here's the thing: if the Dolphins only win 6 games or whatever, and Mike McDaniel gets fired in a season, or is certainly going to get fired at the end of the year, it leaves open the conversation for Anthony Weaver to at least have control over his defense, to say, hey, my team with the talent that the Dolphins gave me, let me use. They're not setting him up for failure. They're setting him up for success. And this is the
all I'm saying is anything above 19 points a game, they can scapegoat him. That's all I'm saying.
It's true, and you're right on that thing. But they also, if you're looking back, well, he's saying that's what the Miami Dolphins fans have done since Tua's been in the building, right? That doesn't
mean he won't get a head coach job. I'm just speaking to what will make us want to keep him as our head coach, like to supplant McDaniel.
I gotta be honest,
the disparity has to be so large between
Weaver. If Weaver's smart, and I have to imagine he is extremely smart. He seems very wise and smart. He's looking at this as his last year with Miami, whether he's a head coach somewhere or a DC somewhere else.
Sure,
because
I agree wholeheartedly with
he's taking a DC job somewhere else because they're pulling the plug on everything, or B, he's getting a chance at a head coaching job because his defense performed or the Dolphins did good.
Right, and I totally agree 100% with that sentiment. What I'm actually adding to that by saying, if the disparity is so large and our defense is so good and it's so stark as to his leadership qualities making our defense that way, then Ross may want to outbid any other team looking to make him head coach.
I think if Weaver is half the man I anticipate him to be, no matter what Ross is paying, he won't take the job. No matter what Ross is paying,
Weaver, it's not in the cards for Weaver. Okay,
no. Weaver's not going to sit here and let a lame duck tank season sit on his record, so then they can use that to fire him. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Brian Flores, buddy.
I don't know. You saw the report. I just wanted to add a really quick update on that because I actually read the article a little deeper. The ruling wasn't that they can take us to court. There's only 3 teams that they can take to court. We are one of the 3 teams that have been directed to arbitration. So we've kept our necks out of court, but we still have to go.
Yeah, that checkbook's already open and it's got it's a blank check. They're waiting to be told what to pay. Believe me, the Dolphins.
Well, what I mean is,
whatever it is they're saying.
When it comes to coaches thinking that we're going to perpetrate that on somebody else, we have been caught doing it. So
yeah, again, we're caught doing it again. A lot of these teams do, Color. In fact, if memory serves me correctly, Weaver already had this happen to him with Houston, did he not?
Well, we don't know, but
he already did the interim head coach and got fucked up.
I wouldn't blame anybody for speculating that.
No, it's not speculation. He already was the interim head coach on that year, and it did nothing but hurt him, and he had to take a step back and go back to the Ravens and rebuild up to come back to Miami. If he's smart, he'll avoid that and
You
take
think-
this launch pad that the Dolphins are giving them with the checkbook, with the picks,
You
with
think
the
Pittsburgh
whatever
makes
you
a play
want
for him?
on the defense you want, and use that to springboard yourself to the next step in your career,
Hey,
which is
being
being a head coach.
his experience in the AFC North, do you think Pittsburgh makes a play on him to replace Tomlin?
That is an incredible observation by you. That is an incredible observation by you. And I would think in any other team not named Pittsburgh, if Anthony Weaver was getting that call, I would say don't take it, because they're going to take a step back to try to recoup all the money they've wasted these last 2 years. But it's Pittsburgh. They're not really a team that takes a step back like that. They'll push through and it'll settle in.
Well, the reason I say that is because Pittsburgh, you can count on 3 fingers how many coaches they've had since you and I have been alive.
That's what I was going to. That
gonna
was my
be
next point.
teams.
You take that job, you're going to get a couple
Who
years,
their
buddy.
candidates are. I don't know
I'm gonna add
anybody
one
else
more
with
team
the
to the
quality
fold.
of character that fits what they're looking for more than Anthony Weaver.
I'm gonna add one more team that might be in that race for Weaver, to be honest, and it's gonna be in the AFC North too.
Oh,
The Cleveland Browns might be looking, and I'll tell you why.
I wouldn't take that job.
But they're just as guilty as we are from that earlier.
I do agree. I wouldn't take the job either, but I do think that they're really going to, because I honestly think, I don't think Stefanski's the guy that they need over there right now. He really hasn't, elevated that team. It seems stuck in neutral, unfortunately. And you look at how that team is built, their true strengths are really on their defense, to be honest. That's where they're heavy. And I think they could definitely benefit from a guy like Weaver, I think, in my opinion. But we'll see. But I like the Pittsburgh deal. I think that one you can almost guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at who they look for in their type of coach, I mean, as far as quality of character and all that,
Go ahead.
I'm
they
making a prediction.
They want somebody there that's like a Chuck Noll or a Mike Tomlin or
a prediction
or a
right now. Mike
or
Tomlin.
Who was the other guy? Billy. Who was it? No, not Billy.
Bill
Mike
Cowher.
Tomlin, what?
Bill Cowher.
Cowher.
Yeah, so.
So I'm making a prediction.
The type that would be there for 15 years is all I'm saying.
Mike Tomlin is out as head coach of the Steelers.
Okay.
The hire by the Steelers will be Brian Flores. I'm telling you, for a myriad of reasons.
So you go Brian Flores, I go Anthony Weaver, and we make the bet right now?
I'm telling you, if
$50?
Tomlin is out, it is going to be
think
Brian Flores.
by the time the Steelers hire a new head coach, I think I could afford 50.
Well,
Color, if you're making this bet, I'm going to be the witness to confirm that I knew what the bet was all along. Just going to
all right. Well,
only because I kind of like the Flores bet. Like I'd go with him if you hadn't taken it.
Hit the like button, everybody. So I would say again, the reason I think why it would be Brian Flores is he's already got a little bit of notoriety in that building, coming back, doing some time with them, and B, the NFL is going to need to get out of the doghouse from this lawsuit that they're already been in. And
then look for Hugh Jackson as their OC.
Right. It's the whatchamacallit family doing the NFL a favor while also getting. They're going to do the NFL a favor while also getting probably the coach they wanted anyhow. You know what I'm saying? With the archetype and coaching style that fits their needs. So I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if Tomlin goes down, it will be Brian Flores that takes the job. And that would be crazy. So bookmark it here. Hour and 20 minutes into this episode. Clip it. I'm telling you guys, Tomlin, Brian Flores. Shout out to everybody who's making it in here in chat.
By the way, if he unfortunately is probably not young enough to do it anymore, but if they ever made a movie about Anthony Weaver's life, Avery Brooks could definitely play him.
Whoever this Jeepus Meepus guy is, whoever that is saying that Flores couldn't hold McDaniel's jockstrap. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you there's not much to hold there, so don't worry.
Flores could one-arm curl McDaniel. He could one-arm curl him. But could he get through? Could Flores get through the map, the map design that McDaniel has
Flores
That's
tied
good
two
jokes.
McDaniels around his ankles to walk through the park.
What up, Tom?
Yo, finally, y'all start talking about something I can actually, like, I can actually give,
Comment?
like, yeah, because y'all been going over so much on the team and all the positions, and I'm just sitting here learning, right? I'm like, I don't even want to try to talk. I'm just gonna sit here and listen to y'all.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even watch ESPN anymore because of y'all.
Well, you're
Straight
welcome.
up.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
but that actually is what makes you smarter, Tom.
Yeah,
But
us.
then y'all,
Yeah.
then you said,
Not
hold on,
you.
why did you mention? But why did you mention the Steelers firing Tomlin?
Well, because Steelers fans were heavy on the Mike Tomlin pressure was the heaviest last year as it's ever been because they had like no clear answer at quarterback with the Russell Wilson, the Kenny, the what's his name that's now at the Jets, Fields. They just had this nothing, and it was so apparent that they weren't addressing the quarterback. And now, after a year where fans were extremely mad and calling for his job, they go and they put all their eggs. They put all their eggs in the basket of Aaron Rodgers, who I got to be honest, I think Rodgers is going to go 2 for 2 on getting coaches fired on his way up out the fucking NFL. I got to be honest.
If he gets Mike Tomlin fired, dude,
that's it. That'll be Aaron Rodgers' legacy.
No,
when Mike Tomlin goes to another team, it becomes one of only like 6 coaches of all time to win. Actually, no, excuse me. There has never been one coach that has won a Super Bowl as a head coach with a team and went to be a head coach on another team and win a Super Bowl. None. And if Mike Tomlin does that, it'll be Aaron Rodgers' legacy that he got him fired.
Now, what happens if they hire Brian Flores as their head coach and he decides to hire McDaniel as his OC?
No way. There's no way those two would have. There's no way those two would ever work together.
Could you imagine? Color?
That would never happen.
Why wouldn't it? They don't hate each other.
I will definitely give credit where it's due. If that were to happen, I will say that Flores definitely learned from his previous experience and learned how to hire a proper staff.
Yeah, but hold on a second. For the Steelers to fire Tomlin,
one up the Miami Dolphins, bro. So if we've been if us fans, Dolphin fans, have always talked about that dream scenario, they're liable to do it.
I don't think so.
Again, Tonk, the only reason why Mike Tomlin
maybe if he gets fired or something.
Well, yeah, that's
okay.
Mike Tomlin losing his job.
Yeah, if he gets fired, I could.
And then McDaniel joins the law.
I could see, because you know what? Because they all understand what it's like to work for the Department of Miami Efficiency.
That's true. They could all commiserate.
Exactly. That's what I mean. McDaniel ends up joining the lawsuit.
So I would say this, Tonk. The reason why, again, Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat is because I don't even think a playoff berth completely saves Mike Tomlin's job this year. It's gonna take either A, winning their division, or B, winning a playoff game with the type of money and the type of stuff that they did with this Aaron Rodgers experiment. That's just what it is. Fair, unfair. Say what you want.
It depends on how something like that goes down.
Now, if they have if they're 9-8,
if they lose their first playoff game, but Rooney looks at them and says, "Hey, our the Steelers' aura is restored," then Tomlin will be safe.
If they go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, he's fired. He is fired on what they call Black Monday. He's the name that scrolls across the top. And that's that. So I'm dead serious. He misses the playoffs even with a winning record.
If it causes him to get fired, I'm gonna be upset with myself for.
That's what it is. Hit the like button, everybody. I see we got about 200 watching on all platforms. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribe.
How long has he been there?
15, 20 years now. Yeah, it's gotta be 20. It's gotta be 20.
Because he didn't win. He was there after Roethlisberger won his first Super Bowl.
No, he won one with Roethlisberger.
Yeah, no, he won Roethlisberger's second one.
But yeah,
didn't he get there the year after the bus helped them win that Super Bowl? The bus was last year.
So they won in 2000.
He's been there since 2007.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah, he's been there almost 30 years now.
16 years.
Yes, almost 20 years
No,
now.
no, not 16. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
It's about
Almost 20
17
years.
He's been there like 17
You've been
years.
there 25,565, 72 days. You've been there longer than that freaking.
He sounds like
been there.
he's been there as many times as Beetlejuice, whatever Beetlejuice number can come up with.
Yeah, we used to watch him back in the day.
LASPER.
Yeah, but if he got fired, he'd just go to another team and just fucking do well. So,
Hey, if they hire McDaniel, does that mean we get no, we wouldn't get a draft pick for that, would we?
I'll tell you what.
no, and then we get Tomlin.
No, I think we do.
no.
I think he falls under the rule.
No, you don't.
We fired
You're
him.
firing him. That's not how it works. You
But
fire
that's
him.
what I'm saying. That's why he would join the
No,
lawsuit.
we would get Tomlin.
Steelers will hire him.
Miami will hire Tomlin.
If Weaver becomes the head coach of the Steelers, though, we get a draft pick for that.
That's true. We would get. I think you get a second rounder if he becomes the head coach or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
something high. If you hire somebody as a head coach, what was our compensation to the Steelers when we hired or the Steelers? God, man, we're just all over the place.
49ers. I want to say it was like a third or fourth round pick.
Yeah, I thought it was a third rounder, dog.
The other thing too is, what if Greer gets hired as a GM somewhere else? Can we get something for that?
No, but it would
GMs
be
don't count. Or GMs don't count.
No, actually, no. Whatever it takes to get him to leave is a win for us. So
Again, nobody that you fire and gets a job somewhere else, you get anything. It's only someone who takes.
No, like if somebody wants Chris Greer for their vice president or something.
I don't know. That's actually, I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Mattress Giant.
Wow. I'm still building a statue for him. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah, I've got a statue made out of it's
Okay. The suitcase Putin was carrying around. We'll make it out of that.
I got some rules here, El Cap.
We'll make it out of what's inside of that.
The rule in the
He's
NFL
bringing me the copper.
it's designed to increase diversity, obviously.
You think he's not that good of a job color?
I mean, there's sometimes I feel just like y'all. I want to fire him, but there's sometimes where I'm like, wow, that turned out to be a brilliant move. Keep gathering the copper.
As you guys know, I've always stood up for Chris Greer, because say what you want, the son of a bitch does he you can want to fire him because you want change, but you can't fire him for not performing at his job.
I mean, I don't know.
The other thing is I've always believed that like GMs in that particular role where they're positioned at, there's like a mountain of things that they do that really have nothing to do with football or picking players and all that stuff that they're required to do for their job title.
Yeah.
That we have no idea if Stephen Ross loves how the quality of that stuff that he does. You know what I mean?
The Rooney Rule does say, by the way, that head coach and GMs, you get rewarded. You get two third round compensatory picks for 2 years. But if you have a head coach and an executive that gets hired like as a promotion, you get 3 years of third round compensatory picks.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, the compensatory picks are picks that the team that acquired the hire gets those extra picks. So
because they're like starting over.
Yes, and the Rooney Rule is made by the Rooney family, which is to help African Americans get more higher gigs, not just be involved in players, but more in coaching and management positions in that aspect. Yep. So when we hired,
so that came along with it,
right?
Yes, that
right.
rule. Okay.
They wanted to incentivize the good old boys. From back in the day to get over their ways and realize that,
and unfortunately,
gentlemen too.
Unfortunately, I was reading a little bit about that, the article about the lawsuit, and what's going on right now, bro, is that if this lawsuit goes forward and what's going to end up being found out on the record is that ended up serving like hell is paid with good intentions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because what the lawsuit what it contends is that teams are manipulating the system to satisfy that rule because of the rule. So for instance, what they're what it's saying is these guys are going around and they're basically just giving interviews to black coaches to check a box.
That's right.
And
they're literally
and it's never been able to be proven, but now this lawsuit is going to come out that they do have evidence of that happening, a la the Bill Belichick text with the Giants and all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so now it's like what the lawsuit is basically going to show is like a lot of other things we've tried in society. People abuse it, and it ends up doing more harm and exacerbating the problem. You know,
I always had a saying that something that starts out of evil will eventually be used for good, and something that starts with really good intentions will eventually be used for
we'll
evil.
See what they rule in the lawsuit, but
That's
I'm just
the way it
saying
works.
that if based on what the lawsuit is about, if ruling goes this certain way, then that's what it's basically saying.
It's going to go that way.
Is that there's manipulation of the Rooney Rule going on?
Well, I mean, again, and people have called it out and said it for years that it's just it's not doing it and all that stuff.
Maybe Belichick did that on purpose. Maybe he actually has a good soul and just kind of like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this, and the idiots in the room don't understand that texts are freely available for everybody to see, and oops for the Giants. You know what I mean?
Hit the like button, everybody. Got about 30 minutes left in the episode. Just making sure everybody is enjoying the program. There was some other stuff I wanted to talk about. We got a little sidetracked with the Rooney Rule nonsense.
I actually think Belichick is I think he's a radical. I think he actually is not racist. You know what I mean? I think he's like he's really an activist. I know what you're thinking, but believe it or not, I actually think he probably did that on purpose.
I don't know.
He's a mole in the good old boys club.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that. You know, I know he's got like a 24-year-old white girlfriend. That's why.
But that's what tells me he is. See, it tells you and me two different things, the opposite things. That's interesting.
I don't know. Debatable. I don't trust Belichick. The guy in freaking sports has been a liar and a cheat, but in life he's fucking a good dude. Fuck out of here.
He lives a liberal social life. That tells me something.
No. Again, he does that for fucking whatever. I know how fuck up. I don't want to get in that fucking conversation, Colin. Why you did that to me? God fucking damn it.
No big.
Hit the like button, everybody. Let's see.
Oh shit! I'm looking at Doug Baldwin and damn it, they just switched screens, and Von Miller on Washington. They're going to be crazy.
Speaking of tonight on SportsCenter, Rich Eisman is going to be headlining SportsCenter tonight, 11 p.m.
Who's that?
Really?
Rich Eisman? You don't know who? Oh my God!
Tom. Yeah, I like that. No, Tom, fuck him.
Fuck Rich Eisman. Get you a beer.
No. I like that.
No, who is it?
No, you right. Who is that? Who's that? Hell yeah, I like that, Tom. Fucking standing 10 toes down. Fuck Rich Eisen. No, he's that.
I don't know what you guys have against. What do you guys have against Rich Eisman, though? I mean, I think Rich Eisman's good.
He's the Ellen DeGeneres of the football community. That's what it is. Straight up, dog. He's the Ellen DeGeneres of the football community.
You're thinking of the other bald guy that normally
he's gone to Epstein's Island. It's a fact. And he's going to be leaving for London.
Sorry, I agree with that 100%. The Ellen DeGeneres of sports broadcasting is the other SportsCenter bald guy.
That's why he's now only on Roku channel because nobody follows his nonsense. He's
talking about Scott Van Pelt, Ali.
Yes. So you're talking about Rich Eisen.
Yeah.
I thought you said Rich Eisman.
Yeah, that guy too. Both him. His eyes are on men at the fucking Epstein Island, Tonk. Didn't you pick it up? Boom. Fuck yeah. Look at me on fire. Fuck out of here.
I mean, no, I got what you meant with Epstein Island.
No, I know, but I said Rich eyes, his eyes on men.
Oh.
Oh God damn.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, but I was Google searching the dude when he said that, so I wasn't listening.
Yep, he's the Ellen DeGeneres of sports.
Rich
sports
Eisen.
talk.
Yeah, but hold on. Why does it matter to you, Ali? Like, why did you say that?
What did I say? What?
That he's hosting an ESPN
Because he
Sports
hasn't
Center.
hosted Sports Center in 20 years. That's why.
Oh, okay.
All right,
He was on Epstein Island the whole time.
I don't know. I don't know.
Ever since?
El Cap has
back-
the info on
He's back from Epstein Island.
I'm sorry, but El Cap has the info on Epstein Island because he's.
I
been there.
I
He's
follow
been on that
all of
plane
this
the whole
stuff.
time.
I know every rabbit
Dude,
hole.
Cat was
every
telling me
dark
about
web.
this shit in 2020.
I told what I said. I
He
told you,
did, dude.
I
He did it. Dude, he did.
every
He
single thing
he
I
gave
was
me a
telling
full
you.
debriefing.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, this is what's happening. You're like, you're fucking crazy. And then like 3 years later, he's like, holy fuck.
See, I think what's his name? I think the Chicago Bears fan that got one guy is more like Ellen, bro. What's his name? Kyle Brandt.
Oh, you think from Good Morning Football?
Yeah, I think he's more like Ellen.
I think Kyle Brandt is. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. No, I think it's
Like
Rich Eisen.
personality wise, like
I've
he
already heard.
loves everybody, and he's all he's a fan
Yeah,
of
but-
like everything.
But you always heard about how friggin' everyone was so super tight and everything around on the Ellen DeGeneres show. It's the same thing. I'm hearing the same stuff on the Rich Eisen show that he's la 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 to the people in the back. They're scared of him. I'm telling you.
And I think Kyle Brandt seems
See
to be
the
the one
forest
that's
of the
most
trees.
likely
Just
to
wait
be
till
the
the
opposite.
chickens come home to
Good,
roost.
call him out.
So, all right. So for the last thing we'll talk about here for a little while, Quinn Ewers had a hell of a game in preseason. Meanwhile, the backup quarterback that was the Miami Dolphins' #1 free agent, love of their eye, the apple of their eye,
Top
Zach Wilson. Top flight backup in the world, Craig. Top flight backup of the world. Is being what I would say overshadowed by the 7th round Texas quarterback that Miami got, Quinn Ewers. Now, you can ask any beat writer that's talking about it on any radio show and any article. Yes, Quinn Ewers is playing well. No, he has no shot to overtake Zach Wilson as the #2. And I would say fine, right? That makes sense in this realm. Number one, that the Dolphins are carrying 3 quarterbacks. That's a fact. We cannot ill afford to go with only a
Not
backup.
only that, but Mike McDaniel's a hierarchist.
That's true. You are right about that. He does placate to the hierarchy. He's not a renegade like he thinks he is. He's a fucking good little 2 shoes with his laces tied up and his fucking button up to his neck. He tries to act all fucking swift and cool, but we all know that he's a fucking white collar good boy. That's what he is. Sorry, said it. Everybody want to get hurt by it, but that's the truth.
You're just jealous of how he dresses.
No. I literally am wearing the same thing you saw me wearing when I was 12. I don't give a fuck. I'm wearing the same shit. I've been wearing it for 30 years. I don't give a damn.
So is he.
I mean, I'm kind of jealous of the car he drives, but that, whatever.
No, he's not. Again, so I would say in that realm, yes, because of the hierarchies, all that stuff. But the Dolphins are going to carry 3. I think the only reason in which, because to me, on film that I've seen, fucking Zach Thomas couldn't figure the scheme out all the time they were trying to get him to figure it out in the Jets. He still can't figure this out, while Quinn Ewers has been playing a very similar scheme in college for a while.
Hold on, I got to
Hold
interrupt you. I got to interrupt you on this because this is twice now. 2 shows in a row I've had to listen to this, and I have to make the correction. Okay, he has just as much a problem as you and Ali seem to have getting his goddamn name right.
What?
I've heard Ali call him Zach Smith. I've heard you now call him Zach Thomas.
Like, no, I didn't. I said Zach Wilson. You heard Zach Thomas. I never said Thomas. Chad, did I say Zach Thomas?
You did just a few moments ago.
And the other side, Ali said
Holly, your name ain't Chad. Shut up, Holly.
When did I say Zach Smith?
I heard it. I just re-listened to the show.
He's
Oh,
putting
okay.
words
Well,
in
I
your
don't-
mouth,
I don't
Ali.
know.
Now he's
I'm
putting
sorry.
it in
I'm
your
sorry.
mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No big deal. I'm just letting y'all know. Like Stan.
All right, only because B McD said I said it, and Bryson. I trust those guys. I don't trust you fools up here. Fine. I was talking Zach Thomas with somebody earlier today, so that's probably where that came from. Anyhow, yeah, CCRR. I said Zach Morris. You're right. Appreciate you, brother.
Zach Morris.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Ali, I think
He
you
said
actually
Zach Morris.
you actually came up with some odd name twice the other night on your show, bro. If I remember correctly.
Jessup said Marino. Now Jessup, he's up, buddy. He's a
Right? No. That sounds like something Michael K would say.
Yeah, exactly. Look, even
Anyway.
Michael Fay said Thomas. Now I believe nothing. Now I
But
believe
since I
nothing.
was watching it in retro, I couldn't jump up on the stage and do nothing about it. So it's been, you know me with my OCD.
Again, for all those optics, but you can apply the reasonings behind why Ewers is behind Zach Wilson. For the same logic you can apply to the Browns starting Joe Flacco, announcing Joe Flacco as the starter, while there's really, there's no upside in Joe Flacco being the starter when you've got two rookie quarterbacks that you need to see out there. The only reason,
I'm glad they're starting him.
but that's the same logic on why you would put Zach Wilson in there over Ewers, is because you're not doing a young, needing to develop rookie
exactly
any justice by throwing them to the wolves and hoping for the best.
Yeah,
so,
Zach Morris got to go in second.
Yeah. Zach Morris is definitely the third string on there. Put him in the bathroom.
By the way, I was only bringing that up to point out that this guy sucks so bad that we can't even get his name right. You know what I mean? Like, he's so forgettable that we keep getting his name wrong.
I don't know. I feel like, but Zach is a common name in the NFL too, I think.
Yeah, I suppose.
Zach's a common white boy name. Let's call it for what it is. Hit the like button, everybody. What do you mean you can't clip it? You can't clip on the live episode right now? Why not?
Apparently not. Gatekeeper.
I've never in my days.
Actually, I think you were right, Color. I didn't screw up a name, but it wasn't Zach Wilson. It was somebody else. It was somebody else's name that I
thought it was Zach Smith that you had said when you were talking about
it wasn't that. It was a different person altogether.
You might have had Cam Smith on your mind. Because they're both equally
I don't know what it could be that
Cam Smith looked good this weekend.
He did.
Cam Smith looked good this weekend.
Well,
it's
when did he
good in the extent that we actually saw him being productive. Where
preseason. He's not doing bad for preseason. He's not doing bad.
They have him penciled in as a for a roster spot. So,
I wouldn't make him a starter, but definitely backup for.
I'm looking at it on my end. It says you can clip Michael K. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Oh, Michael K's saying I need to just clip Michael K is what needs to be clipped.
Yeah, what needs to be clipped is Michael K's ability.
Actually, let's talk about that real quick. Somebody said that Chris Greer is not going to get rid of him. We've mentioned this multiple times that Chris Greer knew which guy he wanted, and instantly, as soon as free agency opened up, he went and got the quarterback he wanted. Right?
Yeah, Zach
Mike
Wilson.
McDaniel wanted too. Let's not forget.
You think Mike McDaniel?
Cam Smith.
The Dolphins got their QB of choice, right?
Sure.
The QB we thought would be here as a backup that everybody here is talking about wanting went to the Giants instead, Jameis Winston. I've seen headlines today that they're shopping Jameis Winston. There's teams calling them up, saying, "Hey, you want to trade?"
Because he was just so energetic this weekend.
Well, I would wonder this on Jameis
Zach Wilson any day of the week.
I'd rather have Zach Wilson than Jameis Winston, though.
Here's the deal, guys. We can want Jameis Winston all we want, but polarizing figures at the quarterback position that invoke leadership qualities, the Dolphins are not interested in bringing into the building.
No, Jameis don't do that though. Jameis is a team player, bro. He's
sure, but you know what? That team player and that rah-rah stuff is something in which people.
He's like Teddy Bridgewater, bro. He's a company man, bro.
It's impossible to not follow a guy that has those types of rah-rah energy.
That would have been like Tim Tebow going to Miami.
That's right. You know, and it'd be like Tim Tebow going to Miami now. You know what I'm saying? It would still.
Yeah, but everybody can embrace a guy like Jameis without and also realize that he's not the future.
I get you, Color, and I'm understanding those facts, but in I don't know.
I think he's actually I don't know. That's just me. No big deal.
Color sounds like a hater. I don't know what to tell everybody in chat.
Hater
Again,
who?
A hater against who? Zach Wilson?
Against everybody named Zach.
No, but you know what? Though? I'm going to do the impossible.
I'll be Zachariah, Zach,
but you're not being a hater.
Man, Color hates all those guys. I don't know why.
No, but I'm going to I'm going to actually do the impossible. I'm going to defend Cam Smith.
What?
What is that?
Hold on a second. Aren't you a fan of Kim Smith?
No, not at all.
I swear to God, I feel like
you're not.
There's a specific reason, Tonk. It's because of it. There's a certain individual playing in Chicago right now that should be a Miami Dolphin.
There he goes. Go ahead. We took Cam Smith over the guy Color wanted, which was a Miami Hurricane, which I'm on board with, that now is in Chicago balling out while we're clapping about Cam Smith showing up in the third quarter against backups. You're right. Continue.
Now, this is how I'm going to do it, though. What if we know something about Cam Smith that he is so gifted that we're like, our team's not ready. We don't want to risk you getting your career screwed up.
We've been stashing Cam Smith because we don't want him to be a part of the eventual
thing. He's so gifted, bro.
We drafted Cam Smith in the second round the other 2 years ago because 4 years from now he's going to be
at this point they should be calling us the Miami stash, like we're stashing cocaine everywhere.
We're like Hunter Biden in the White House.
Deion Sanders, remember I said this. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta be honest. If he's Barry Sanders, Color, I would still think
Deion Sanders,
Chris Greer, or Deion Sanders, if he's any Sanders.
Yeah.
If he's Jason Sanders, would be
if he's Jason Sanders, Barry Sanders, or Deion Sanders, I'll be like, wow, Chris Greer is cooking and y'all don't know shit. But until then, I'm just
I was gonna say, let's say that eventually Zach Wilson is our quarterback. And he likes it up.
Eventually he will suit up as a Miami Dolphin at some point but
like if he does well and all that shit, I think I actually will be on the Chris Greer train.
Well, I don't think that was Chris Greer's call. That was Mike McDaniels.
I'm only saying this because look, Channing Tindall.
If they're both still there, if McDaniels is still there, I mean, we don't know the future, right? We don't know the future. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got it.
Until Zach Wilson is playing and Mike Daniel is the head coach, I can't say it's going to happen, right?
If you want Zach Wilson.
The biggest reason I say that about Cam Smith is because of what's going on with Channing Tindall. It's like Channing Tindall is making his best effort right now to remind us that he's still here.
Yeah, and that's all fine and dandy. Too little, too late, potentially.
It is, but
both those guys. I would say this though, to double back with the Zach Wilson thing. You're going to see Zach Wilson. Now, you shouldn't see him for a while, until Tua gets nicked up and they got to relieve him in or something like that. Hopefully, you don't see him at all because Tua's healthy all year. That's the best chance the Dolphins have to being successful. But if Zach does come in and does play well, they'll go, yes, this is according to plan. That's why we brought him here. They believed in his skill set. They believe in their coaching style and ability to mold his skill set where his shortcomings were in New York is where they will overcome here in Miami, in which case they're hoping that drop-off from Tua to Zach isn't far at all. And remember, Zach Wilson, first-round pick, picked what was he picked? Third? Was he picked third in the draft? Second? When was Zach Wilson
Number
picked?
3 overall, I believe.
Number 3 overall. Tua was, fifth overall? He went 2 picks before Tua did the year after. So he had talent coming out. I get it. He had that video in BYU where he did the Patrick Mahomes thing and turned his body and chucked it 60 yards downfield. He has talent. Can he play within the confines of this system? And then when that doesn't work, overcome with the talent he possesses, then you got something. But he has to prove that he can even be a guy that can hold it down when Tua's gone. And I get it. This scheme is so tailor-made and specific, not just for a quarterback, but for this in particular quarterback who's left-handed, who is, I'll say it, he is the best timing quarterback in the NFL, maybe of all time, potentially. I don't know. Drew Brees is probably all time. But that's why it's so hard. When you're running and operating with perfection on a left-handed quarterback and you insert, 80% of perfection on a right-hand quarterback, you're getting, let me do the math. You're getting 30% of nothing is what you're getting. So I think they hitched their wagon to Tua, and he'll drive us off the tracks or drive us to the Super Bowl. And I don't see the Super Bowl coming. So I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Hit the like button, everybody. But yeah, back to Ewers real quickly before we close this up. I think as far as more of a carbon copy of what this offense needs, as far as operator, facilitator, point guard, whatever, I think Ewers is better than Zach Wilson right now and probably always. That's just what I think. I could be wrong. Who do I know? I ain't nobody. Except for I know everything, and everybody knows that.
I mean, Ewers at Texas ran a very simple, not simple, I should say, a very complex, similar system than we do at Texas, right? And Sarkisian's scheme is very similar to what we do. And a lot of the throws that he made there is very similar throws that we asked Tua to do.
Mm-hmm.
So can he run this offense? Yes. Can he run it effectively? I'd give him a year and he probably could, no problem. The issue is, can he rise above against those more elite defenses? That's my only issue with Quinn Ewers. Once he shows me that, then I will be a believer. But until then, I'm not a believer.
Well, I'm not saying that belief is necessary, but faith is demanded. As a Miami Dolphins fan, that's all you really have is your faith, because we've given you not much more to go on these last couple of decades. So, I don't know, guys. Again, who knows? God hoping that Ewers and Wilson get enough time to grasp this offense and become super effective with the limited snaps they're going to get in practice. But that they do get up to speed by the time Tua needs relief rather than he goes down for the season. And, whatever. I think in a perfect world, Dolphins make the playoffs with a healthy Tua that's not playing nicked up, and we get to see what everyone's been telling me how great Tua is. He's clutch. He's, a superstar. He's the left arm of God, and that he's going to, take that left arm and throw the Dolphins into the Super Bowl. So that's what I've been waiting for. I've been hearing about it for what seems to be half a decade now and more, and I just don't know what they're talking about. I see a guy that possesses a lot of really good things, but is missing key it factors and key things that you would require to be better than the quarterback that you're going against, while also health being the number one concern. I can't get an idea of what I have and don't have if you're not there for me to see. What do I know what you got or don't got if you're not around? I know what you don't got: punctuality. I know what you don't got is availability. And everyone will say, if someone gets cut because they're injured all the time or something, no one goes, oh, well, It's the best ability is availability, but it doesn't matter when we talk about Tua around here. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why. The double standard is extremely, friggin' BS, if you ask me, dude. It's nonsense. So,
waiting for Tua to win playoff games is like waiting on the Messiah. We're still waiting. All the believers, the Catholics, you and I, we're still waiting for that Messiah to come back.
That's it, baby. And listen, let him walk on water. I'll fucking believe, baby. I'm ready for the belief. Walk on water, Tua. Please. Please. But don't sit here and tell me how you believe he's going to walk on water when you've seen nothing to say that. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I know, Greg. Hit the like button, everybody. I appreciate everyone coming through. Shout out to all those that donated. Nay, Craig, Nightwolf. Appreciate you guys, the lifeblood of the community, keeping the lights on here at the Fins Tailgate. Make sure you guys are going to tftgnetwork.com, checking out all the great stuff we have on the network and the program. Great deals on stuff, promo codes, links to a lot of the things that you can get, Fanatics, 20% off your Fanatics, and then some, all kinds of stuff that we have, as well as some other stuff. Like we have a scoreboard for all the games. So if you're looking for what games, if you go to TFTG Network, you'll see on a rolling scoreboard, you'll see who scored what and what have you on any games updated and live while they're on live. So make sure you guys are checking all that stuff out too. Scroll through it, check out all the good things. Again, join the membership, guys. We need some members. Our memberships are stagnant. We need to get some more members in here. So if you guys haven't joined the membership and you've been around here and you can join the membership, I think it's like $1.99. Super cheap. Just get the members on there. You got cool emojis. Greg, flex on everybody with the emojis right now. Any of the members in chat, flex with all the different emojis we got for members only. And they're new ones all the time. We get new ones all the time. So I don't know if Greg is still in chat or not. He might have left. Any of the members in chat, show everybody the emojis you guys get. I don't know if Greg was there. I saw him. But yeah, there you go. You get all the cool stuff like this, man. Appreciate you, Greg. So, and there's new ones all the time. So it's not like, I don't know who this is. I don't know why this guy, this Eminem, this rap fan, mom spaghetti, knees weak, arms are heavy. I don't know who that is.
Tell him to take that shit. Tell him to take that shit over there to Hurricane Tornado Alley.
Yeah, and that is not an official TFTG membership emoji.
No, it's not.
That is not sanctioned.
No, these are the ones you want. If you're cool, you're like Greg, and you get to flex on all these hoes in chat all the time. That's how it goes.
All I need now is EM to come up here and call you White Rabbit the whole time.
No, no. No, that would be borderline. Hit the like button, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Marino's Goat, Nightmare, EM even sliding in here. With the cat dragging his lifeless body up in here. And
what's up, good evening to you.
Yep. So we'll see y'all next time. And tomorrow, before I forget, tomorrow, special guest TD in the house. The homie coming by and gonna kick it with me as a special co-host. TD's coming by 7:30.
You mean the field mascot TD?
You'll have to wait and see.
Tony
coming by. Tony did just as did. Well, maybe.
Also, check out the West Coast Dolphins fans show. They got somebody coming into the house.
We have a special guest coming Wednesday. Again, it's full season around here. Tomorrow, TD Fins Talk going to co-host with me. Following on Wednesday, with the West Coast Dolphin fans, is Richmond Webb is going to come up there as a special guest.
Hey, is there something special you're doing? Or is it just?
I'll talk to you backstage. So
okay.
we'll see you guys next time. Make sure to again check the show 7:30 tomorrow. TD's gonna be in here. Football is back, baby. Fins up.